Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to explore a very beautiful and interesting topic, how flowering plants reproduce. Yes, flowers are not just for decoration, gifts, or Instagram photos. They actually have a full biological love story going on inside them. So let's open the petals and see what is happening inside. First, we need to understand the structure of a flower. Think of a flower like a well-designed house with different rooms and responsibilities. Let's start with the male part of the flower. It is called the stamen. Easy trick to remember, stamen has men in it, so it is the male part. The stamen has two main parts, the anther and the filament. The anther is the top part. This is where pollen is produced. Pollen contains the male gametes, which are basically the male reproductive cells. The filament is the thin stalk that holds the anther up. You can think of it as a support stand that says, "Hold the pollen high." Now let's move to the female part of the flower, which is called the pistil. The pistil has three parts, stigma, style, and ovary. The stigma is the sticky surface at the top. Its job is to catch pollen. It is like flypaper, but only for pollen grains. The style is the long tube that connects the stigma to the ovary. And at the bottom, we have the ovary. The ovary contains ovules, and these ovules will eventually become seeds after fertilization. So yes, the ovary is a very important place. Apart from these reproductive parts, flowers also have petals and sepals. Petals are colorful and attractive. They act like advertisements saying, "Hey bees, come here." Sepals are the protective outer parts. They protect the flower when it is still in the bud stage. Now that we understand the structure, let's talk about pollination. Pollination is the process of transferring pollen from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same species. Simple definition, big importance. Why is pollination important? Because without it, there will be no seeds, no fruits, and honestly, no food for us. So next time you eat a mango or an apple, thank pollination. There are different methods of pollination. The first one is by insects. In flowers like roses, daisies, and sunflowers, insects such as bees and butterflies come to collect nectar. While doing their sweet shopping, they accidentally brush against the anther and pollen sticks to their body. Then they fly to another flower, and some pollen rubs off onto the stigma. So basically, bees are unpaid delivery agents. The second method is wind pollination. In plants like grasses and dandelions, the pollen is very light. The wind carries it from one flower to another. No insects required. Just pure natural air delivery service. Now let's understand the process step by step. First, pollen production. The anther produces pollen grains that contain the male gametes. Second, attracting pollinators. The flower uses bright colors, sweet fragrance, and nectar to invite insects or birds. It is like throwing a party to get attention. Third, transfer of pollen. When a pollinator visits, pollen sticks to its body. Fourth, arrival at another flower. The pollinator lands on another flower of the same species, and pollen gets deposited on the stigma. Now comes fertilization. Fertilization is the process in which the male and female gametes combine. Once pollen lands on the stigma, it germinates and forms a pollen tube. This tube grows down through the style and reaches the ovary. It delivers the male gametes to the ovule. When they combine, fertilization happens. After fertilization, magic begins. The ovule develops into a seed. The ovary develops into a fruit. Yes, the fruit is actually a matured ovary. That means when you eat a fruit, you are technically eating a developed ovary. Science is fun and slightly shocking sometimes. Then comes seed dispersal. Seeds need to travel to new places to grow into new plants. They can be carried by wind, water, or animals. Sometimes animals eat the fruit and later drop the seeds somewhere else. Nature has its own smart transport system. Finally, when the seed gets proper water, air, and temperature, it germinates and grows into a new plant. And the cycle starts all over again. Let's quickly recap. The male part is the stamen, made of anther and filament. The female part is the pistil, made of stigma, style, and ovary. Pollination is the transfer of pollen from anther to stigma. Fertilization is the fusion of male and female gametes. Ovule becomes seed, ovary becomes fruit. And that is how flowering plants reproduce, quietly, beautifully, and scientifically. If you enjoyed learning about the secret life of flowers, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video with another exciting topic. Until then, keep learning and keep growing, just like plants.